We live in a world saturated with messages. Advertisements tell us what will make us happy. Movies offer narratives of good versus evil with satisfying endings. Politicians give speeches about the American dream. It all feels like simple information and entertainment, the backdrop of our lives. But what if this constant flow of images and narratives isn't neutral? What if it serves a hidden purpose? Philosopher and linguist Noam Chomsky offers a radically different perspective on our modern world. Chomsky argues that our modern capitalist society isn't truly democratic. The flow of information we depend on to make choices, what we buy, who we vote for, what we believe, isn't free but carefully manufactured to serve the interests of an elite few at the expense of the many. This manufactured consent, as he calls it, is the invisible thread that ties together our media, our politics, and our economic system. Consider the notion of free markets that we're taught to revere. You can choose between brands of toothpaste, certainly. But can you choose whether the person who makes it earns a living wage? You can decide what channel to watch. But can you find one that will spend weeks dissecting why massive corporations need tax breaks, while workers are asked to do more for less? The illusion of choice masks a deeper lack of freedom. Chomsky challenges the idea that our system allows for true social mobility. While some individuals escape poverty, he argues this isn't proof the system is fair. Rather, these success stories serve to keep us believing in the system even when the odds are stacked against us. It's a powerful narrative that suggests any failure to achieve success must be a personal failing rather than a systemic issue. In a democracy, the people are supposed to hold power. Yet our economic system concentrates wealth with such intensity that a small elite class ends up making the real decisions. Politicians rely on their donations, so they serve their interests first, not those of the voters. Corporations lobby against policies that might benefit society, but cut into their profits. Things like strong environmental regulations, higher minimum wages, or the right of workers to unionize for better conditions. For this system to function, people need to feel like they have a say and that their choices matter. This, Chomsky argues, is why elections are such spectacles, so focused on personalities. We're encouraged to wage passionate battles over relatively minor policy differences, while the fundamental structure of the economic system, and who truly benefits from it, remains mostly off limits for public debate. Control over information is essential to maintaining this power dynamic. If you don't understand how the system works, how the decisions that impact your life are truly made, then you're far less likely to challenge them effectively. This is where Chomsky's groundbreaking work, Manufacturing Consent, becomes crucial to understanding our world. In collaboration with Edward Herman, Chomsky proposed a propaganda model of the media. He argued that mainstream news organizations, even those that pride themselves on objectivity, are ultimately beholden to their corporate ownership and advertisers. This doesn't require shadowy cabals dictating editorial decisions. It's more subtle than that. Newspapers rely on advertising revenue and aren't likely to run investigative pieces exposing the labor abuses of their biggest advertiser. Editors understand that stories driving clicks or keeping viewers glued to the set help the bottom line, rewarding outrage or fear-mongering rather than in-depth analysis. There are also filters determining what counts as news. Actions of official enemies get scrutinized far more than those of allies. There's a focus on individual failings distracting from systemic problems. We get endless coverage of individual welfare fraud, but scant reporting on how corporate tax loopholes cost society billions. The goal isn't so much to make us believe blatant lies, but to shape the boundaries of acceptable debate. The environmental crisis offers a perfect example of how this system operates. Environmental devastation isn't just an unfortunate side effect of capitalism. In Chomsky's view, it's a logical consequence. When corporations can wield power to weaken regulations, when media can muddy the waters about the reality of climate change, the path is clear for them to prioritize immediate profits over the planet itself. While we're urged to make individual, eco-friendly choices, Chomsky would argue that no amount of recycling can make up for the systemic damage of an economic model based on endless consumption and planned obsolescence. Perhaps Chomsky's most challenging idea is that the very freedoms most of us cherish are the greatest obstacle to enacting change. Believing our fate lies solely in our own hands can blind us to the forces stacked against us. When elections are treated like sporting events and news offers a constant diet of outrage, it creates a sense of participation without any chance to truly alter the course of our society. Frustrated, confused, and divided, we become less likely to collectively demand a better system. The constant bombardment of advertisements telling us happiness lies in the next purchase further distracts us from questioning why. Even working incredibly hard, a decent, secure life often feels out of reach. When some people have unimaginable wealth, it's easier to convince those struggling to make ends meet that their own problems aren't caused by policies that favor the rich, but by laziness or bad decisions. Chomsky isn't asking us to be cynical, but aware. He believes the first act of rebellion is understanding how power truly operates. Only then can we stop wasting our energy on staged political fights or seeking fulfillment through endless buying, and begin the difficult work of creating a democracy that serves everyone. It's about recognizing that real freedom means more than the ability to pick a flavor of ice cream. It means the power to collectively shape society, such that everyone can live a dignified life on a sustainable planet. This understanding can leave us feeling both angry and powerless. Chomsky's unflinching analysis reveals uncomfortable truths about systems most of us were brought up to believe in, whether it's the inherent fairness of markets or the idea that our democracy truly reflects the will of the people. Yet even Chomsky's critics likely agree that the questions he raises deserve our attention. Do corporations wield too much influence in politics and in shaping the information we receive? Does our obsession with the spectacle of elections distract us from deeper changes needed for a just society? Is our consumer culture built on an illusion that the endless pursuit of material possessions can ever substitute for genuine democracy and a sense of collective purpose? Chomsky isn't interested in comforting answers. His goal is to provoke us, to awaken us from a manufactured complacency. He wants us to question what we've been told all our lives, not simply about political opponents or foreign leaders, but the narratives that define what we consider normal, fair, and even possible. True change, Chomsky would likely argue, begins with the refusal to accept the world as it's been presented to us and to demand something better, not just for ourselves, but for all. And while some might dismiss Chomsky's analysis as too radical or pessimistic, his work provides essential tools for understanding the forces that shape our world. The media landscape he described has only grown more complex in the digital age. Social media algorithms now curate our reality, creating echo chambers that further fragment our collective understanding. Corporate consolidation has accelerated, with a handful of companies controlling most of what we see, read, and hear. Yet this very technology that can divide us also offers unprecedented opportunities for connection and organization. We can share alternative perspectives, build communities around shared values, and coordinate action across traditional boundaries. The challenge lies in using these tools without falling into the same traps of manufactured consent that Chomsky identified. The stakes have never been higher. Climate change threatens our very existence. Economic inequality has reached historic levels. Democratic institutions face mounting pressures worldwide. Understanding how power operates, how consent is manufactured, how choices are limited, how dissent is managed, isn't just an academic exercise. It's crucial knowledge for anyone who wants to work toward meaningful change. Chomsky's insights remind us that real democracy isn't just about voting every few years. It's about active, informed citizenship. It's about questioning the narratives we're given, seeking out diverse perspectives, and engaging in collective action for the common good. Most importantly, it's about believing that a better world is possible, not through individual consumption choices or partisan political theater, but through genuine democratic participation and solidarity. The question isn't whether Chomsky's analysis is completely right or wrong. The question is, what will we do with this understanding? How will we use this knowledge to work toward a more democratic, sustainable, and just society? The answers won't come from above. They must come from us, working together to imagine and create alternatives to the current system. If you found this exploration of Chomsky's ideas valuable, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're dedicated to examining critical perspectives that challenge conventional wisdom and inspire meaningful dialogue. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What aspects of Chomsky's analysis resonate with your experience? How do you see these dynamics playing out in your own community? What solutions do you envision? And remember to hit that notification bell to stay updated on our future videos exploring similar themes in politics, economics, and social justice. Together we can build a more informed and engaged community committed to understanding and transforming our world. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep working for the change you want to see in the world.